Okay, so a lot of viewers have asked me why I keep on referring to 2017 as the year of the beast. And so I wanted to explain that and do a little bit of a year in review because this has been a bizarre, intense year, 2017. And it's like we're 2 months into the thing already. And it's already more jammed packed and intense than 2016. And so many people said, wow, 2016 was a horrible year or difficult year for them. And now 2017 is just like full on, more intense and everything. Now they're about to release Disney's Beauty and the Beast live action movie with Emma Watson, and they just released a music video. So I'm going to tie that in together here and then get in with the narrative of why this whole year is about the beast. But I also wanted to start by saying that you can look at this as being something positive because one, it's pulling out a poison that's within our systems, the human systems, and collectively. There is everything that's coming out in the year of the beast is something that is in our system. It's in our world. And so for it to move forward, for us to rise to a higher level of consciousness, this stuff has to be pulled out. And the other thing is that the Earth is a battleground planet between good and evil. I talk about this. I talk about this extensively in my book, The Choice. And it's a place where we evolve through polar opposites. So whenever there's great evil on this planet, then there is also greater good in that sense. If there is evil, then there's more God. And that's why the hero and the villain always go hand in hand. So we can take this as a positive. We should look at this as a positive. All this stuff is coming out. That must mean that there's also, that godly energy is also rising to meet the evil energy. When there's this dense materialism, it's also a great time to connect to God. So I think that's something I want to highlight here because this isn't just one-sided. We shouldn't look at this as being one-sided. There's a reason for this. There is a plan. All right, to start off with, this music video is just another indication that's a year of the beast. And I also saw a movie last night I'm going to talk about. It's just another example of this. So in this music video, it's sung by, the song sung by John Legend, that god-awful Beauty and the Beast song, they're rolling it back out, and Ariana Grande. Now I've talked about Ariana Grande before, and she is somebody who appears to be one of these MK Ultra beta sex kitten mind control subjects. There is a mind control program that's been fairly well documented where they sexually abuse these girls and turn them into sex slaves. And she is constantly being shown with bunny ears and rabbit ears, and of course the Monarch butterfly for the MK Ultra mind control Monarch program. I think she's in her 20s, but she looks like she's in her young teens, and she just looks like a prototype for this type of mind control program. So many Playboy bunnies have been a part of this, and I've talked about, she has the same manager as Justin Bieber, this guy Scooter Braun. I've talked about him in other videos. He appears to be some sort of MK Ultra mind control Illuminati handler because of all of these people that he manages and how successful they all are. And just the kind of people they are. Justin Bieber and Ariana Grande both look like mind control subjects, people who are completely handled and managed. So in this video, it starts off with her in a red gown. The color red is always associated, or usually associated, with an Illuminati sacrifice ritual or ritual of initiation, or both. So you have these young girls who both look like prototypes. I've talked about this also with Emma Watson. She's always appearing with bunny ears and these types of things. She's done a lot of bizarre photo shoots, and she came in as a witch in the Harry Potter series. So there's all these types of, there's just a lot here. And then Ariana Grande and the dancers turn into a rose. They're all wearing this red color, blood sacrifice color, the color of Illuminati initiation, and they turn into this red rose. And you think about the red rose being associated with that god-awful show, The Bachelor. I've covered that. They just did some voodoo stuff on that show. And the red roses are, red roses are a beautiful color, flower, whatever it is. I mean, naturally it's a beautiful flower, but it's an intense color. and you wouldn't associate red with love. And so you think about how it's being used on The Bachelor and also in this Beauty and the Beast as this sort of symbolism and what relationship really represents, because it's just like the fairy tale happy ending that they slap on at the end of these movies. But in reality, the story is about something completely different. And in this case, this is a lighter version. This is the child version of 50 Shades of Grey, where this young virginal girl is going off into the castle of this rich man, this beastly man, and somehow they're trying to make the case that through her purity and innocence, she was going to turn this evil devil-looking beast into a good, handsome prince. This is a narrative they target at women all the time, that somehow you're going to fall in love with a bad guy, someone who has bad character qualities, and through your love, you're going to change him and transform him into a good man. And how many women's lives have been ruined by this attitude and this narrative that they've been, just been jammed down their throats since they've been young girls. And so there's that narrative, but there's also this collective narrative. Now, we saw this. I also talked about this. There is this Anne Hathaway film. They've released a trailer for it called Colossal. And in both these films, they have a devil-looking beast, and the girl controls the beast. So this has been highlighted, and also in M. Night Shyamalan's movie Split, which I thought was a good movie, but there was a scene, and they showed this in the trailer as well, where the person with the split personality says, the beast is real. He says it in a way that it's highlighted. It's like, this is important. You're going to remember this. You're going to remember him saying this in this scene. And this movie was released in the beginning of 2017. And that's when I started to think, this appears to be the year of the beast. Now, the movie for the Triple X series was released. And of course, people know that the three X's represent the beast. And so these are all things that have been released early on in 2017, being highlighted as in what I consider, they're saying this is the year of the beast. Now, it's not just about them referencing the beast and just saying this, but it's also about what's going on politically and the way that they're just not hiding things anymore. And they are basically admitting to various levels of this sort of dark energy. They're saying, yeah, we're doing this, and we're not hiding it anymore. And I'll get into that in just a moment. So also being released in 2017 was this bizarre fashion show, and I covered this, where there's all these beastly demons on the stage, and they're performing some sort of European ritual. And these demons are wearing haystacks and these like devil-like horns, and it's just really creepy. And the models themselves have Illuminati symbolism embedded into what they're wearing. And I said, this is the most bizarre. Some viewers sent this to me, and I thought it was some fringe thing. But the guy who released this was a big-time fashion designer. And there's all these people with, reporters and fashion critics and all them, and they're digging it. They're like totally into it if you've seen this video. And I just watched this going, my God, what is this? So this was released early in 2017, again, with the beast motif. And then there was that perfume commercial where this girl gets up out of some sort of auditorium, and she does this bizarre demonic-like dance. And at the end of it, she goes through the Illuminati eye. And again, this is another idea of the beast coming out of the feminine principle, this young, beautiful young model, and she's turning into this demonic beast. And so all of these things are associated. The M. Night Shyamalan movie, there is a female protagonist, and she's associated with this beast. And in the M. Night Shyamalan movie, the guy who has a split personality is abused by his mother. And so it is the feminine principle that's releasing the beast, which would be the exact opposite of what's happened. But you think about the transgender movement and transhumanist movement and all these types of things, and how they're getting rid of this idea of the mother. We can now have children without mother. They can reproduce babies through stem cells and artificial wombs, and they're getting rid of the feminine principle. And Emma Watson is a big time feminist, and this is the narrative they're giving, where the women are becoming more and more the protagonists, and the beast is coming. The beast is real, and it's coming out of the woman. It's being born through the woman, through the feminine principle, which in itself is dying. The women are becoming more and more manly, becoming warriors, becoming violent, and these types of things. And then there was the Trump inauguration, which in many ways is sort of like, all right, here's the beast. You can call Trump easily a beast because of his pig-like nature, but look at how he's being born from a woman in terms of the Hillary Clinton demon that he won the election over. And then look at how the liberals and people that are supposed to be anti-war and anti-violent are being portrayed. Now, that bizarre Women's March where all these celebrities were incredibly vulgar and twisted. Madonna coming out with beast-like horns on her hat and swearing like a sailor and just being really vulgar, and all of those things. I covered this in earlier videos, and how all these liberal people that are supposed to be pacifists are just in completely like gone off the rails. And so you think about Shia LaBeouf and all the things that have happened with that bizarre performance art piece that he had. And there's just a lot of violence. And then there's the Illuminati eye, which is everywhere. I've talked about in that new Alien movie where they highlight this giant eye. And I've seen this over and over again. I can't probably even remember all the places where I saw this. There was that Quicken Loan, Rocket Loan commercial ad piece where they show the Illuminati eye twice. And then there was Netflix releasing the unfortunate events of Lemony Snicket's movie with it's just saturated. I didn't even watch any of that TV series. Just the opening and the trailer is just saturated. The Illuminati eye being highlighted throughout that book series and then in this TV series. And then Netflix releasing that Drew Barrymore TV series where this mother, this traditional suburban mom, turns into a zombie again, releasing the human flesh-eating beast. And then last night I saw this movie on Netflix, and the title was great. I Don't Feel at Home in This World Anymore. And I said, wow, that's just an incredible title. And then I turned the movie on. It was on, Netflix. And it was just one of these independent films. It might have been made by Netflix, one of the films that's made by Netflix and released, which I think it was. And you would think, all right, this is some independent, low-budget film. And I was actually having these thoughts. I wonder if there's even going to be any Illuminati symbolism in this. It's been so long since I've seen something without some sort of symbols in this, what I call the controllers, putting some of these images in it. And the movie started off funny and light. And I was like, oh, wow, this could be just something that's just a regular movie. And then there it was. They go into this flea market, and it's sort of this twisted and dark place. And they go into this building, and the doorway, there's this giant Illuminati eye and all this occult symbolism surrounding the arch of the doorway. There's this like skull in the middle of the courtyard, and then the movie just gets twisted and violent. Again, there's a female protagonist, this girl who's really just this nice woman, and she just wants the world to be people to treat each other nicely, and the thing just goes south from there. And again, I'm like, oh, here's another example of them unleashing the beast through the female principle. And I just want to end this video, and I'll cover this again because I know I left some things out. And I'll do regular reviews of 2017. But the venom and the antidote are in this. The antidote is in the venom. And I think this is something for people always have to realize. That the cure is always, so oftentimes there's poison and the cure is growing right next to it. They're always coming together and they're always associated. And one reason that you can have faith and hope in this is that if the beast is being brought through the female principle, and they're trying to turn women into men and turn them into a beast, then through a woman's loving heart, the principle of motherhood, the devotional woman that loves God, and through her love of God, she transforms her family, and she's the Lakshmi in the Indian tradition, the wealth of the family, the centerpiece of the family. and all of the family bathe in her love and her affection and her service and caring and these types of things. The traditional good mother, the earth mother, the loving mother, the devotional mother, all these things. This principle is what can tamp these things down, because this is what helps balance all these aggressive tendencies out. When there's a woman's loving heart that helps calm down and balance out the aggressive male tendencies. And this is something that, this is something that women have to think about, and men certainly have to also support this principle, really looking for this traditional type woman, the good woman, which is now such a rarity in our modern day civilization. They're getting rid of this principle, the good mother. So it's something for us all to aspire to, that we go back to some of these old ways and we embrace these positive, godly archetypes, things that are natural to the human being, our highest level of consciousness. This is all stuff trying to pull the beast out of us, the lower levels of our existence, the lower levels of our character, the lowest possible person that we can be, but we also can rise up to a higher level of vibration and be the best possible version of ourselves, the version that God imagines us to be. And so this is something I hope that all people aspire to, because it's a beautiful principle, and the opportunity is there in this very intense year of 2017, the beginning of the year of the beast. All right, this is Paul Romano reporting from the apocalypse. Everybody have a blessed day.